Welcome to 3.0, our third mock draft here. You see it on the bottom. There it is when it comes up. Our 3.0 NFL first round mock draft. We are very excited to bring you this mock draft, and we might have one or two more. We're debating what we're going to do. Obviously, 2 weeks for the NFL draft until the NFL draft at the end of the month of April. Alex and I will hopefully be together as long as if it's a nice day, and you'll see our reactions to the Giants pick. So I'm excited for that. But anyway, if you haven't already, please go check out our episode yesterday when we did it exactly 2 weeks before the start of the NFL draft. And that was with a preview of the NFL draft with Seth Galina of PFF. He's their senior college football analyst. And also, you can check him out. He's the host of the PFF College Football Podcast. So we were really excited to do that with him. And we were talking about some other stuff with the Giants as well, of course, because we're a Giants podcast. That's what we do here on the Giant Take. First of all, I'd like to ask Alex, a little bit laggy on the other end, but Alex, you're here. How are you doing so far this morning before we start this mock draft?
I'm doing well. I'm just excited to get into it. You know, these mock drafts, they're always fun. And we have a little bit of a twist at the end that we're going to do also. We'll be doing like a little bit of a Giants 2-round mock draft, just the Giants. We'll have the, CPU, I guess you can call it, auto pick the rest of the picks, and then we'll be all good with the rest, and we'll just pick for the Giants those 2 picks, first round, second round, there at the end. But first, we got to do the whole first round and see where that ends up. We're going to have a few changes here, a couple trades like Josh mentioned. I believe he might have mentioned it, maybe not. But yeah, we have a couple trades, but I think we'll just get right into it here. And we are going to start off, and I'll, start off right here since I'm talking already. The first 2 picks, I think they're just obvious anyway. Trevor Lawrence will be going to the Jaguars, and Zach Wilson will be going to the Jets. I think those 2 are obvious picks. They both need a quarterback, 2 best quarterbacks in the class.
Exactly, Alex. And I think we move on to 2 more obvious picks, pretty obvious. And it's going to be Justin Fields to the 49ers. I kind of said that and stuttered just because a lot of people have the 49ers taking Mac Jones, but it's Justin Fields for this from Ohio State. If you haven't listened to our episode already, I'll plug it again. We talk about it with Seth, and it's people are like doubting Justin Fields' ability, and I don't know why people are having him even going late first round. I think that's way too late for Justin Fields and a quarterback and how good he is and how he, basically helped the team this last 2 years and made them, brought them to the national championship, or at least helped them get to the national championship. I think that's definitely, how it went down. And for the Atlanta Falcons, we've seen a lot of mock drafts that they trade out of this pick. We've even done it when they've had the Broncos trade up for a quarterback. But you know what? We have the tight end, one of the best tight ends, the highest ranked tight ends in a long, long time, and that is Kyle Pitts out of Florida. He's ranked number 5 here, and he goes number 4, so 1 earlier than PFF expected, or what they want, I guess, in their rankings at number 4 to the Falcons.
All right, so following that up with the 5th pick, there's been talk between these 2 players right here, Penei Sewell, Jamar Chase. The smart decision, it's Penei Sewell. The, kind of Joe Burrow decision would be Jamar Chase. And we have this time them going with the smart decision. Obviously, last time we didn't. They're going to be going with Penei Sewell. They need protection for Joe Burrow coming back from injury. And the Dolphins, they would probably take one of the 2 here, one of the 3 receivers, I mean. And obviously the best one is Jamar Chase, and he will be going number 6 to the Dolphins.
Number 7, we have the Detroit Lions, and this one, it's a little interesting. I think Jalen Waddle went both times in our 1.0 and 2.0 mock drafts, and we have him going 3 times in a row to the Detroit Lions. I think it's just the best pick for them at this position, and it's obviously PFF agrees that it's Jalen Waddle from Alabama at this pick, wide receiver out of Alabama. Number 1 need for the Lions. They picked that up. Number 8, Carolina Panthers. This one's a little bit interesting. I think in 2.0, we had Sewell falling to them at 8. We had Trey Lance in the first one going to the Panthers. That was obviously before the Sam Darnold trade. They have Sam Darnold, probably their number 1 QB, even though it doesn't seem like PFF agrees with that. We have Rashawn Slater going at this pick to number 8. And I think it's a good pick for them. They need help on the offensive line. And that's who they pick at number 8, cornerback. I don't know where I'm going here, Alex. Obviously, that's coming up in a little bit. Not anytime soon, but in 2 picks, whatever. Rashawn Slater, tackle, Northwestern.
So now with the tackle off the board, obviously that's a need for the Broncos. You could see a couple different picks here. You could see Micah Parsons. Obviously they need a linebacker, but here they don't believe in Drew Lock. At least that's what we think. Well, they do, but just not enough to pass on Trey Lance, who I think is a very good prospect. And he will be the 4th quarterback off the board here, and decently ranked there by PFF. Cowboys, they have a few needs: edge, cornerback, tight end. Obviously, best tight ends off the board. It's a little bit too early for an edge. So you go cornerback, and you're going to go Patrick Surtain. Just too good at this value. A really solid corner, and I think he'll translate really well into the NFL.
First time I've been able to do the Giants pick, Alex. You've always stolen it from me, so I'll do it now. And we wanted to switch it up. We don't want to have the same player every time because maybe there's a chance in the 3 or 4 or 5 even mock drafts that we do that maybe we'll get the pick right because there are so many options at this pick. What we decided to do in this 3.0 mock draft was go the edge from Michigan, and that's Kwity Paye. You've seen him in the late teens in this draft, and you know what? We're going to have him going ranked 24. Fine, it is what it is. But we're going to have him going to the Giants at 11 out of Michigan. And then that brings us to number 12. The Philadelphia Eagles hasn't switched since they traded up to this 12th pick, and that is going to be Devontae Smith out of Alabama. Perfect value here. It's what the Eagles need. It's what they want. I'm sure they want a wide receiver that can get things done that they really haven't had on their roster, and that's who they go with here.
So it seems that this is going to be our first trade, and I believe it's actually our only trade in this mock draft. So we're going to go over here to the trade section if it loads, or when it loads. Sometimes it takes a while here. Okay, so we're not going to be making a trade with any of these teams. We are going to be going down to, where are they? Up here, Washington football team. They will be trading up. We're just going to force the trade real quick since this is only a first round mock draft. The Washington football team will be trading up to draft their quarterback. You look on the board, Mac Jones, 14 ranked here, 13 overall here in that pick. Decent value there. Mac Jones be their franchise quarterback. Nice pick there. And now the Vikings are a tough one. Obviously, we've mocked Kwity Paye to them a couple times now. Obviously, the Giants took them in this mock. So you're looking tackle, guard, edge. Edge is a bit of a reach still. And you're looking at guard and tackle. You could go Darisaw, and obviously you could go, who is the other one? Tevin Jenkins. But we are deciding to go with Elijah Vera Tucker. He has the flexibility to play guard as well, so it's perfect and fits their needs very well.
And I feel like, especially since the 1.0 mock draft, we've had Elijah Vera Tucker too high. I think we had him going to the Chiefs at 31. It's just like I wanted him in this draft to go earlier, and that's why we have him at 15. I think that was definitely a reason why. And then going to the Patriots, obviously, we've had them taking Mac Jones. We've had them trading back in one of them. And this one, we have something a little bit different once again, and that's going to be the cornerback. J.C. Horn, him and Caleb Farley have been, once again, it's either one or the other at number 2 and number 3 that has been thrown around. And we go from to the cornerback out of South Carolina, J.C. Horn, at the number 15 pick for 16, because I'll do that one as well. The Arizona Cardinals, they select the other one, and that's Caleb Farley out of Virginia Tech. Alex is having some trouble figuring that out. We'll get that in a second. Don't worry. We're all good. Third need, where it says here for on the draft board, according to PFF, and they go and they take care of Caleb Farley, out of Virginia Tech.
He was ranked lower than Greg Newsome there, so I was having some trouble getting him. Next pick here, 17. The Raiders, I don't know why it doesn't say this, but they need a linebacker. So the perfect fit, someone who fell really deep in this draft class. Obviously, there could be character issues concerned here. So probably the reason he dropped at this point, right? You'd probably see him much earlier if there wasn't character issues. But Micah Parsons, very nice fit for the Raiders. And I think he'll be a very nice piece to their defense. Dolphins, you could go a whole bunch of different ways. You could go tackle, you could go guard, you can go, interior defensive lineman. But we decided to go edge. I'm not sure how far this person is down, so I'm just going to go over here, rank 30. Okay, good thing I didn't scroll all the way down. Azeez Ojulari out of Georgia. It's been a debate on who's the best edge in this class. I think Azeez Ojulari for me, is the best edge, maybe bar Kwity Paye, but I'm a big fan of his, and he will be going number 18 to the Dolphins.
And then 19, who is now the pick for 19 is now belonging to the Los Angeles Chargers, And now we'll go to the offensive tackle, Christian Darrisaw out of Virginia Tech. He goes here, ranked 15. I think it's a good pick for them. They could go a few different ways, Alex. You mentioned that, with the other team that was before them with the Miami Dolphins. I think it's the same thing with the Chargers here at 19, and that's why they decided to trade back. They took the value that whatever Washington's going to give them, maybe it's a first-round pick next year. But we move on to the Chicago Bears, and they go Tevin Jenkins, the offensive tackle. You already had it up. They have Walker Little in front of him on PFF. I don't agree with that. We've seen him early in mock drafts, so I'm going to have to agree with my gut. And Tevin Jenkins, I think, is a perfect value at number 20 for the Chicago Bears.
So for me, you're looking at the Colts now. 2 tackles just went off the board. You could have been seeing that. But, now there's kind of a little bit of a gap there between the next tackles. So you're looking edge, I believe. Wide receiver is also a possibility, but I think edge is where you get really nice value here. And we're going to go over to the edge rushers, and we're going to take Jalen Phillips. Obviously, he has injury concerns, but I think besides that, he may be the best edge in the class. Like I said, a lot of these guys are very close, so who really knows? Tennessee, they will be taking a receiver in the first round, someone who is pretty good value at this pick, I think, in Rashad Bateman. A lot of people have been hyping him up recently, that he may even go as early as 12 to the Eagles, so this is really nice value for the Titans as well.
The pick from the Jamal Adams trade, and that's the New York Jets, once again, their second first-round pick in this NFL draft, 2021. And they're going to select a linebacker, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah from Notre Dame. I think it's a perfect value at 23. It's someone that the Jets are going to want, a linebacker, a nice presence on the team. And that leads us to 24, the Pittsburgh Steelers, which I don't believe we change in 1.0, 2.0, and now in 3.0. We really expect them to take a running back, and people are starting to catch on. I feel like, Alex, we were the only ones. I think we were the trendsetters is really what we were for Najee Harris, and that's who they're going to take, the running back out of Alabama. And I think it's a perfect pick, whatever, 65, whatever the heck PFF wants to say. We don't agree with that, and we have him at 24. 25, Jacksonville Jaguars, the safety, Trevon Moehrig, I think is how you pronounce his last name. I apologize if it's wrong. Usually that's Alex's problem. This time it's my problem. Whatever it is, what it is. Pick 25, the safety out of TCU.
I really like that pick for the Jaguars. It's kind of like a very nice match for them. Fits their scheme really well also on defense. Going to pick 26 now, we have the Browns. I think a player here that's excellent value for them is Christian Barmore. And he's ranked 12 here for PFF, and he will be going to help solidify that defensive line for the Browns. Obviously, they just got Jadeveon Clowney. They now add Barmore. They have Myles Garrett. So there's all sorts of weapons there, or not really weapons, but very strong players there for the Browns on that defense. Moving on to the Ravens now. Ravens need a wide receiver. Let's see where the wide receiver is. Here he is, Terrace Marshall Jr. out of LSU. Very nice receiver. Kind of a bigger guy, more, competitive catch guy, kind of what works well with Hollywood Brown, who's obviously more of a speedster.
And now going on to 28th, the New Orleans Saints, they take cornerback Asante Samuel Jr. out of Florida State. You mentioned him a little bit earlier, Alex, in the cornerback rankings. I think you mentioned him, right?
Yeah, I believe I mentioned him. Yeah, he's probably the number 4, I would say, in this class for sure. I think he's a little bit ahead of Greg Newsome.
Yeah, and then that leads us to 29, the Green Bay Packers, which we have tried to shy away from taking a wide receiver. We just don't feel like they'll do it since they haven't done it already for Aaron Rodgers, adding another weapon besides Devontae Adams. But they do it here. You know what? We'll switch it up. Rondale Moore from Purdue is actually ranked really high, probably 2 or 3, depending what you think in the wide receiver rankings. And you know what? We're going to have him going 29 to the Green Bay Packers.
For this next one, Josh and I debated for a long time about what we had the Bills doing here. We were talking about edge, we were talking about corner, and we were talking about running back. Najee Harris off the board. Obviously, there's Travis Etienne as well. I thought it was a little bit of a reach here. So we're going to go edge for them. And obviously, this is a really nice spot to pick edge rushers. And they're going to be going for Jason Away out of Penn State. Don't really know if I pronounced his name right. I'm really sorry if I didn't. Rank 25, nice value here. The edge out of Penn State. And then the Chiefs, they will be taking Sam Cosmi out of Texas. I almost stumbled over his name there. We're going to have to search him up because he's probably like rank 102 by the PFF usual. Okay, so rank 38, not so bad. But Sam Cosmi will be going to the Chiefs. They need help on the offensive line out of Texas. And I'll let Josh do the final pick here.
Gregory Rousseau from Miami. Obviously, another player from Miami on the defensive side. It's been him and Jalen Phillips throughout the whole draft that they both could go first round. And I think it's pretty good value. And that's who they go with there. Gregory Rousseau, the final pick to end the draft. We'll scroll through a little bit, just see what PFF thinks of our mock draft. And then obviously, as long as they're all happy, we'll see if anyone got C's. But as long as we're good with that, we'll go to the Giants one in a little bit. Well, I guess they're not happy, giving Patrick Surtain C+, and then Kwity Paye D. So that's not, oh, wow, more D-. Oh, okay. Oh, wow. All right, so you know what? Most teams got a pretty good value, I would say. Alex, see, what does it say for the Giants overall? I know they gave a really bad pick for the D. It's all the way at the bottom. Let's see.
Not good. Not good at all. But hopefully, maybe it won't be as bad. I feel like, you have to take these grades with a grain of salt, obviously. So hopefully, maybe they improve their grading system. Maybe the Giants get a gem there with Kwity Paye. Like you said, Josh, here, I'm trying to get back to the mock draft simulator. We're on Bing. That's ancient software, isn't it? So we're going to go here. Giants, we're going to do 2 rounds. We're not going to go super fast so you can actually see who's getting picked, because otherwise it speeds through you can't even see it. And now we will start this. So we will start the draft in a second. Make sure to watch over here because they're going to auto do the picks, and it's going to be very quick. So here we go. So Zach Wilson goes, okay, that's absolutely not going to happen. But the quarterbacks did all 3 come out. So I guess that is good. You're still going to have the right players on the clock. So here, Jamar Chase is never going to be there. We'll take him, I guess. Josh, what do you think? Here, I'll scroll through the options while you...
Chase or Parsons is really, that's all it is. If you're really risky and you really want that the Giants to take that franchise QB, that's not Daniel Jones. Take Trey Lance here. But, yeah, no, we're going to go with the pick of Jamar Chase. I think there's no doubt about it. I don't even care that we signed Kenny Golladay. Just make the pick, Alex. I don't even look at the trades. We're not trading back. It's not happening. Jamar Chase. Thank you. Done. Come on. There's no better option at this pick. Whether or not it's happening or not, I think that you can't debate that.
Yeah, there was definitely some trade offers there. We might do one more actually too after, because that was kind of unrealistic. We'll see what happens here. But in the second round, you have our receiver. Very good receiver, very good value. The steal of the draft, probably, I'm guessing. Wasn't really paying attention to who got taken after us. But here we come back up at 42, sorry. So you have another receiver here. We have another trade value, another trade here. So here we go. My mouse is frozen. We're going to turn it back on and off. And that's how it's going to work. Okay. Is it going to work? Yes, it will. All right. So we're going to look here. Well, let's go by position, see who's available. Wide receiver, we're not interested in. Running back, Najee Harris is still on the board, so you might even consider him at that value. If you look at offensive tackle, nothing really in there. Eichenberg maybe is a bit of a reach here. And then let's just go through all the options, and then I'll let Josh, kind of decide here what he wants. Wyatt Davis, Creed Humphreys on the board. Obviously, we didn't go offensive line. Let's look at the edges, not the interior offensive line. It is not really any edges on the board. So if I were, making the decision, I would probably go Creed Humphrey here. Josh, what do you think?
Walker Little. I think, again, that's another. PFF has him a little higher than I would expect. But obviously, if we're looking for a tackle, Walker Little's probably going to be the guy that we want to see if we can shift him over to guard. If not, probably just pick him as a tackle. Obviously, he's a tall and big guy. 6'7", I think that's that, Alex. So, yeah, I'm going to go Walker Little here. I think it's perfect value at this pick, actually.
All right, so we have that here. Okay, now we just got to wait patiently while everyone else makes their picks. They pre-Humphrey rated really low here, which is interesting. I mean, PFF, it's better than PFN. We did that last time, I believe, and that was just kind of disastrous. So this is what we're going to be rolling with. Hopefully they update it better as we get close to the draft. Let's look at our grades here. They love the Jamar Chase pick, kind of, not really. A-, pretty good. They hate Walker Little. So Josh, PFF's not happy with you there. But yeah, we got a B+ for our draft here for the Giants. We'll probably do more of these in the end of our other drafts. So stay tuned for that. But I think that's going to be it for this one. Josh, do you have anything else before we wrap it up here? Let me get out of the view there.
No, I'm good. I'm good. I think we can wrap it up now. I mean, Alex, any closing thoughts? I think we can wrap it up.
Yeah, I'll give my closing thoughts. Good draft. Good drafting. We'll see you next time for some more. You will have our 4.0 out probably next week, later, early 2 weeks from now. We'll see what the schedule entails. Make sure to go follow us on Twitter at the Giant Take Pod. Go check out our other YouTube videos. We just released an episode yesterday, like Josh mentioned, so go check those out. And we'll see you next time with another YouTube video.